Hello, my name's Gary of the Bushcraft Dad's channel, and a couple of days ago I made my first ever YouTube film. It was all about me wild camping in the Hertfordshire wilderness, but I'm calling this How Not to Wild Camp, and I wanted to explain why. It might seem like a bit of a strange title. I made a pretty stupid mistake, one that looking back on what happened, and certainly literally looking back at the film of what happened, I was just thinking, my God, what on earth was going on in my head? I mean, I honestly, it's quite strange for me to look back at. So I'd like you all to watch, bear with me, hopefully enjoy it, hopefully learn something, and I would just like you to see if you can look out for the big mistake I made before I point it out to you during the film. So thank you for clicking play, and thank you for watching. Hello YouTube, my name is Gary of the Bushcraft Dad's channel. I may be known to one or two people on YouTube as the Herts Wildcamper, that's H-E-R-T-S, as in short for Hertfordshire. And as it happens, you join me today deep in the Hertfordshire wilderness at an undisclosed location. I'd rather not say where I am. It's not private land, at least I don't think it is, but it's quite a nice location, sort of tucked out in the middle of nowhere and up on a hill. There's no signs saying you can't camp, which in my book means you can, but like I say, I'm in Hertfordshire. It's Saturday afternoon, and I would imagine there is absolutely no chance of a policeman coming up here and arresting me for camping. They will be busy in Watford and Hemel Hempstead rounding up the drunken people tonight. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. I'm going to carry on up the hill. I've probably got about another 15 minutes to walk. It's a bit of a slog. Like I say, it's all uphill and the path is muddy. And sorry about all the spinning around, by the way. And dragging that thing up a hill is, well, let's just say it's been easier in the past. I've been up here a few times. I've camped up here maybe 4 or 5 times in the past. And this is the most difficult I've found it so far because the path is just completely saturated. But anyway, I will bring you back when I'm at my place I'm going to pitch up. Talk to you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. We are now in the woods, pretty much where I want to camp, or somewhere around here. Now I'm going to ask you a question, which obviously it's not going to be much use to me once you answer it. Would you camp around here? I mean, obviously on the lighter side of the news there is like all the dead wood you can eat, you know, but there's some very tall trees, so that's the decision I made. But yeah, please feel free to put in the comments box what your thoughts are on the whole Widowmaker, because the problem is, if you want to camp in the woods, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be under a big tree. It's sort of, I would say it's near on impossible to avoid them around here. But what I've decided on, I'm going to pitch my tarp under that. It's a fairly flat spot, and there is this tripping over my dog. There's this whacking great tree. Now if I pitch my tarp under that and make sure that I'm laying horizontally along with that, even if something does come down, I should be pretty well protected. So I will bring you back. I don't know if you can see all the way over there. I've parked my bike over there. I mean, you wouldn't believe how difficult it is dragging a bike with about 20 kilos on the back through all that lot, but it's worth it, because as you can see, this is a pretty well untouched woodland, there's a couple of, you can see a path there and there. I mean, these are game trails. There are a lot of deer in these woods. Well, I'd like to say I'll be seeing some and can get some footage, but unfortunately I brought my own wildlife, and when you've got a dog, the chances of you spotting deer are slim, because he will see them first and he'll run after them, and that's your life. Basically, buddy, it's basically your fault I'm not going to see any wildlife, so I hope you appreciate it. I mean, I have seriously contemplated coming out and not bringing the dog, but it'll break my heart to do that because he absolutely loves camping. I mean, he knows the word camping. I mentioned it about 9 o'clock this morning. I didn't leave the house until about 12:30, and he's been frantic ever since. He knows he's in for a good time today. But anyway, I'm going to get on getting on because it's coming up to 2 o'clock now, and I've got about 3 hours of daylight. It's just about stopped raining. The weatherman said it's going to stop about 5, just in time for it to get dark, which is a bit annoying. But there we are. So I'll bring you back in a bit. Hello and welcome back to the undisclosed location deep in the Hertfordshire wilderness. As you can see, I pitched my tarp there. Now, I'd like to tell you that's really easy, but somehow that took me about 30 minutes just to erect that. And you may well be asking yourself, why didn't you just bring a tent? Well, I've been asking myself the very same thing, especially as it's windy. I mean, I'm fairly certain the wind is coming from that direction, so I'll be okay. And they do say the rain is going to ease off by 5 o'clock, and it's 3 o'clock now. But yeah, what can I say? I mean, when it comes to the whole tent versus tarp debate, my personal opinion is tarps are more fun. They're more fun because you pretty much make something different every single time. But on this particular occasion, I think I might just as well have bought my 2-man Vango tent. But there we are. You know, you live and learn. I might try that next time. But I am going to get on getting on. I've got about 2 hours of daylight left, so I am going to have me fireplace somewhere right about there. And hopefully when I bring you back, I will have a rip-roaring fire. And rip-roaring fire is not easy for me to say, so I hope you appreciate it. Hello and welcome back to the woods. Now, in the last shot you saw my tarp set up against this tree. Now, do you remember that whole conversation we had about falling logs? Well, something almost amusing happened. I'm going to try and give you a close-up of this bit here. This entire log just dropped by a couple of inches. Right, bear with me. I'm going to see if I can bring that log down. Don't know whether I'm in shot. There we go, simple as that. That could have been me in the middle of the night. Yes, buddy, a big game. It's all just fun for this dog. Okay, I am going to have to recompose myself, and attempt to pitch my tarp somewhere else, but that has unnerved me a little bit. I don't mind telling you. This is not how I planned my first YouTube video. I knew this would happen, by the way, with the dog. This is no surprise. He just loves attention. Hello and welcome back to the Hertfordshire woodland. Now, please don't ask what that is. It's a hastily put together tarp shelter. I've done this formation before. I just don't know quite where it went wrong. I've tried adjusting it about 37 times, and that is as good as it's going to get. I mean, the good news is I know this tarp, because I've used it several times. It is absolutely 110% waterproof, and it's all pegged down, so I'll be okay. Don't anybody worry about that. But yeah, I'm getting myself together. I've made a fire. Now, this is oh God, I'm just tripping over some brambles there. This is possibly the strangest fire you've ever seen. First of all, the strangest tarp formation, followed by the strangest fire. I've basically just stacked a ton of pretty well wet logs together, but put some smaller stuff underneath and got it going with some dragon gel stuff. I'm hoping there's just enough to burn that through, and once it's going I can chuck on any big logs and I'll be quite happy. As you can see, it is producing just a teeny tiny bit of smoke. This is why you don't light your fire until dusk, because if we just have a look over here, I think it's fair to say I might be drawing a little bit of attention to myself. But yeah, once it's dark, nobody really cares. But now, what you're looking at here is basically dinner, uncooked dinner. We have got some chopped up potatoes, some mixed herbs. I'm going to mix in a little bit further, some chunks of onion and some mince. And the idea is I'm going to wrap all that lot up in 2 layers of tin foil and then put it in the fire there. And hopefully it will cook one good meal. At this point I'd like to say a big hello to Andy from Kent Survival, because I've commented on several of his videos and I've sort of always praised him. Every time he's cooked something really nice, I've always sort of praised him in the comment section, saying, yeah mate, good job. And when he hasn't cooked anything, I've sort of taken the mick a little bit, saying, well, come on, mate, you know, is that the best you can do? So, yeah, Andy, this is for you. This is what they call a hobo meal in America. You wrap it up in tin foil, you bung it in the fire. I've never done one before. I've wrapped up several things in tin foil, bits of chicken, potatoes, obviously, and 1 or 2 other bits, sausages, but I've never attempted to do an all-in-one mixed meal. So, yeah, here goes. I'll bring you back when I take it out the fire. Hello and welcome back to the Great British Camp Off. I've managed to stick my selfie stick between 2 logs, which is how you're able to see me. I'm not holding, obviously I'm not holding a selfie stick. You can see I've got 2 hands. Dog has come to join me and get in on the scene. You're not actually required in this one, buddy. We're going to do some amusing scenes with you in the morning where I throw you a stick. Yeah, right now this is me getting dinner out the oven. We discussed this earlier, but it's almost like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. On the lighter side of the news, I bought this new, I mean, I can't really show it to you. Basically what's shining at me, I bought a solar powered sort of light and phone charger thingy, which is lighting up the whole camp pretty good. So that is the one thing that does appear to be going my way today. Are you going to get off me? I need you to get off me so I can... I've given him a bit of cardboard. There's a bit of cardboard right behind him for him to lay on, but he doesn't seem to be... I've got a feeling he thinks some of this dinner is for him. No. You had yours earlier. You had your dinner before we left the house. You must remember, you had dog food before we left the house. It's completely forgotten. Okay, I'm going to have to... Yay! Okay, I'm having a nice time, honestly. If you've never been wild camping before, don't let this put you off. At the risk of stating the obvious, that fire is rather hot. Now I'm going to try and attempt to open this up. I've put it on a plate and I don't know how much of this you're going to see. You can't really, unless I tilt it at 45 degrees, and then I'm likely to lose it. There we go. Is that, hang on, let's shine that on there. This is barely working. Oh no, there you go. There it is, in shot there. All I need to do now is test it out. Excuse me for a moment. Just get me little spork. Titanium spork, fantastic invention. A little bit hot just now, but it's good. Hello and welcome back to the Hertfordshire wilderness. Well, okay, dinner went well, you'll be pleased to know. My hobo meal was absolutely fantastic. The dog sat there watching me throughout and I felt a little bit guilty. I mean, I fed him this morning, he's not due a meal or anything, but I felt a bit guilty because I haven't really bought anything for him to eat tonight. I normally only feed him in the morning, so he should be okay, but obviously the dog doesn't see it like that. He sat there staring at me. And what I've done in the past, and if anybody excuse me, if anybody is doing woodland camping and bringing their dog with them, what you can do is just bring a pack of cheap and cheerful sausages, bung them in a bit of tin foil, put them in the fire, and just cook your dog something as well, because obviously, you know, he smells all these delightful smells, and it smells a lot better than the rubbish he has to eat, so he's going to quite fancy some, and I've done that for him before. I don't know why I didn't do it today, but the idea of putting my tarp on that big log was to protect me from falling trees. As it turned out, it's pretty well ready to snap. I don't know whether it's literally ready to snap. I mean, I had to jump on it pretty good to get it to go. But yeah, I'm looking back on that and thinking, my God, I mean, what are people going to make of this? You know, yeah. Because people may well look at that and think, my God, what an idiot. And, you know, if you're thinking that, and if you want to put that in the comments box, please feel free, but I very much doubt you're going to tell me anything that I haven't already said to myself. My girlfriend knows roughly where I am. I've sort of, because I've been here before, and I've sort of, you know, pointed out on the map and what have you, and said this is my little bit of woodland that I go to. But my God, I would have been, at the very least, I think I would have been trapped by that log. It would most definitely have knocked me out, and maybe it just killed me. But yeah, the idea of our channel, which we're going to do, is do some filming with our children out in the woods, get them, you know, cooking over an open fire, get them toasting marshmallows and what have you, hopefully camping out for a night. My daughter isn't all that keen to go camping out in the woods. You know, I said to her today, do you want to come? I wasn't intending to take her, but I sort of said, just sort of, there was a bit of a joke. I said, do you want to come camping with Daddy? No, thank you, Daddy. I'm okay. I'll stay here. You know, you get a fantastic sunrise here and a sunset if you get a clear night, which is what I was hoping for when I decided to come here. I sort of booked this to myself about 2 weeks ago. I thought it's the last weekend in January, and I was hoping for some freezing cold weather. Well, it might sound odd, hoping for freezing cold weather when you're going camping, but if it's nice and cold with a nice clear night, should get a good sunset. Morning, campers. Here we are in our wonderfully constructed tarp shelter. As you can see, 1 or 2 slightly unnecessary seams. It's about 7:45 in the morning at the moment, and I've told you already about the strangest dog in the world. I mean, here he is. He could quite easily take himself out for a walk, but he doesn't want to. He wants me to come out with him, don't you, buddy? Yeah. Yep. Now, I'm trying to keep you in shot. So, if you're up too close, it won't work. Yeah. So, buddy, do you want to take yourself out? Buddy, out. Go on. You go out. There you go. Go on, out. There you go. There you go. There you go. Go on, out. The most delightful day. Got woken up several times in the night with the wind blowing. The strange thing is, it's not really windy as such. I mean, you can see a slight movement on the shelter there, but you can hear the wind because of the tall trees. You can hear the wind at the top of the trees. You can't really feel the wind down the bottom, which is kind of strange. It's another thing that does sort of lead me to believe I didn't really camp in the best spot because of all the high trees. But I'm going to get up, take a look around, and I'll show you around some of the area. Get back to you in a minute. Coffee? and cake. Coffee and cake in the woods on a Sunday morning. What could be better? I know what you're saying. I know what you're going to say. A nice warm duvet. Yeah, okay. A nice warm duvet, maybe. But, no, just every now and again I fancy a bit of a challenge. I enjoy watching. There's a lot of people on YouTube that, you know, do a lot more challenging stuff. I mean, obviously, you know, the first one that's going to come to mind, Joe Robinette, a Canadian guy. I mean, some of the trips he goes on, absolutely incredible. You know, he goes off for sort of 7-8 days at a time, hiking or canoeing and what have you. And I mean, that's hard work. No two ways about it. You're obviously enjoying the challenge if you do that sort of thing, but it is hard work. I might have done stuff like that 20 years ago, but I wouldn't do now. Wouldn't quite classify myself as an old man yet, but clearly not as young as I used to be. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a woodpecker off pecking a bit of wood, of all things. But a fair bit of wildlife around here. Heard a few noises outside, and the dog was kind of up a lot, so didn't sleep terribly well. I never do, really. I tend to try and go to bed quite early, working on the assumption I'm not going to sleep that well, but you know, just have plenty of rest time. So yeah, dog gets me up a lot. Buddy, are you going to come and be in this scene? You want to come and be in this scene? This is going to be Buddy's scene now. Now you need to be behind me. There we go. Let's try and get you in. Try and get you in and not knock my cup of coffee over. Yeah, I did. I promised you a scene this morning, didn't I? But yeah, he tends to wake me up a bit in the night. I mean, he gets up and gets restless and hears something. But you know, that's the joys of owning a dog, really. I hope that's coming out on the camera, or on the sound rather, the woodpecker. I'm curious to know actually if anybody can spot where I am. I think that's unlikely, but I'll give you a couple of. I mean, I've already said I'm in Hertfordshire. I'm very close to the border of Bedfordshire, and also very close to the border of Buckinghamshire. So there we are. There's some clues for you. If anybody can tell me, or you know, if you've got a clue where I am, then put it in the comments box, and if you get it right, I'll tell you. But anyway, I am going to, as you can see, I've sort of half packed up. I've got my tarp shelter down. That is the remains of my fire, which is a bit disgraceful, really. I do normally work on the theory of leave no trace, light a small fire. The problem I was faced with last night, it was getting dark. I simply didn't have enough time to go out and gather small sticks to sort of keep a fire fed and keep a small fire fed. And there was just an abundance of whacking great logs. So my theory was get a fire alight and then just bung logs on and they'll burn in half and kick them back in the middle. Bit of a lazy campfire, really. It's not the way I normally do things. I do normally work on the leave no trace theory. That's not going to be possible today, but I will try and clear up as best I can. But to be honest, in this woodland, I don't think any humans ever come through here. There is no signs of human activity whatsoever, not so much as a footprint. Lots of deer footprints. So I think I don't think the deer are going to complain too much if there's a bit of a fire patch. But I thought I'd mention that because it is one of those things that comes up in the comments box. People say, you know, you scarred the woodland by leaving a fire patch. Yes, I did. I know, so you can mention it in the comments if you want, but I know that already. I don't normally, like I say, I just had a bit of a bad day. So I ask you to forgive me. Seems fair. There we are. So I'm going to draw this to a conclusion. I'm going to finish that cup of coffee, maybe have another one once I pack away, and just sit down and chill for another half an hour or so, and then I'm going to mosey on home. So once again, thank you very much for watching. If you stuck with me this far, I do appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you learnt something regarding the places to camp and places not to camp. So I will hopefully see you again on the next film. Thank you for watching. Bye.